Good morning, everyone. It's Kirstin Hanson, Reverend and Spiritual Director of Sancta Luma Church of Holy Light. This is where we embody the next epoch of ministry that is rooted in love, wisdom, and the living presence of God. This is the Morning of the Dove. It's your daily moment of spiritual clarity and encouragement that is designed to carry light into your day ahead. So let's take a moment and settle in. And before we begin, I pray that you find peace in these few moments that we take together and gain fortitude in your connection with God, the divine within you and in your life. A moment where you are able to breathe in the love of God, in the experiences of the day, in the grace and the mercy of God's love, knowing all of your needs are met. And as you know, we have been studying the topic of grace and mercy throughout the week, and today is day 5. We're talking about the overflow of grace. And once we have a little bit of our discussion, we'll move into our affirmative prayer that anchors in this topic into our being and fortifies our spiritual soil within ourselves. I love talking about the overflow and the overflow of grace. I love the concept of living from the overflow. When you are so full that you can pour out. Now, what is so important to understand that in particular for women, we must have really good boundaries so we can move ourselves into a wellspring of spiritual overflow. In my world, I do an incredible amount of work preparing myself, my sanctuary. My sanctuary is my inner being. My sanctuary is me. It is my mind. It is my heart. It is my soul. It is my body temple. All of these aspects are my sanctuary. And grace comes in all the time into play in my world, which allows me and affords me opportunity to keep bringing my work forward and allows my love to spill over into others' lives when I live from a full heart. There are some days where I don't necessarily have the capacity, but when I am connected, and it's not that God isn't with me, it's that I'm not with God, right? So when I am connected, when I am living in the full awareness and the full presence and the full love of God, I create an overflow because, see, God is abundant. The universe is abundant. The universal law, the natural flow, the natural rhythm of life. Emerson wrote a lot about this. The natural flow of life is that we actually do live in an overflowing universe. It's just humans are taught to constrict that flow, and then we go down into living in lack. And that is a non-truth and non-dual reality. And I always hear, but we're living in a 3D, we're just human. No, you have the capacity to live as the divine on this earth, as heaven on earth. That is an excuse for not doing the work and getting up and taking care. Now, that is not a bypass that when things are going wrong, we don't have to deal with that. We do. But I can still use my tools even in the midst of all of that. And I can use my tools to support others in the midst of it until they can find them for themselves. Doesn't mean I have to do it for them. It just means I have to hold that space for them. So that is not an excuse. We can live in the overflow and the God's grace over and over and over, minute to minute to minute, and we can pick it up at any time during any circumstance, right? I have had people say to me, I didn't know you were going through all of that. Why? Because I show up with a smile. Because I show up happy. I didn't bypass my life. I just am able to live as well as experience situations, right? So grace isn't meant to be hoarded. It's to be shared, to spill over into other people's lives, to bring love, to bring grace, to bring guidance, and it doesn't mean we have to give everything of ourselves. Simply a loving presence can make a huge difference in somebody's life. A huge presence in somebody's life. And that's what it means to live from a full heart. When you have a full heart, Your love, your heart is filled with love, not the debris of this hate, this malice, this misinformation of borders and all these other things that are really convincing people that we're separate. We're not separate. We're not separate. We're not different. We're not. God's love is just so glorious and so beautiful. And God is not a man in the sky. God is a universe. It is this consciousness. See, I saw it. I felt it. I was with it. And I continue to cultivate that. It's not like I had it once and it left. It is with me always. It is the truth of who I am at this point. I am a beneficial presence upon this earth, walking with God's love in my heart. And I seek to do that will and grow it every single day. And you can too. This is not a bypass. This is your divine inheritance. It is your right to live happy, whole, and free. And so we are going to pray that in, and we are going to anchor that in today, and we're going to bring that home. You remember this, people. You remember this. This is your divine inheritance. Okay, so take a breath. Oh God, we have thanks today for this divine overflow of love that you present to us, that you have for us, that you fortify within us. We give thanks that you continue to represent love in my life over and over and over, so that everything, that grace that I am filled up with as a wellspring, overflows into the lives of others that I know and don't know. And I have thanks and gratitude that I can even find this amidst everything that is happening in this world, in my life, and in others' lives, that I still find a way home to you over and over and over and over, finding this magnificence of your love, of your prowessness that moves through the earth. I have thanks for this grace. Oh, God, I just know that as I realize the truth of who you are in my own heart, and I come home to you over and over and over and over, my sanctuary is fortified and my well overflows with your goodness, your holy goodness. And I know that every step I take lights up the world with grace and beauty and elegance and kindness and tenderness and beauty. And I know, infinite Spirit, that the infinitude that is present is available to everyone in this moment, that opportunities and solutions are abundant for myself and for everyone. And I remain open to your great abundance. And I allow my mind to be made of steel, so no negative thought penetrates the strength of the light and the will of your love and grace in my mind. I am fortified in the knowingness and feeling tone that it is done, whatever it is. And it is done for all of those I will meet today, because see, your glory, it moves through me. And I am a living representative of a life built in prosperity and abundance. And I am loyal to the vision of heaven on earth. I am loyal, and I am so very grateful that I am your ambassador, God. I'm so very grateful. And I'm so very grateful that those that are with me in the light have the opportunity to reveal within themselves the coming home of your glory and your love. And they too will come to know themselves as holy in your likeness and image. And so it is, and we give thanks. Amen. 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 Much love to you, beloveds.